Shalom, shalom, this is Kaparia, a.k.a. Shalom, shalom, this is Kaparia, a.k.a. Pops, out of GMS Chicago with another sit-down. Before I get started, though, like always, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikakwadash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York. I want to say double honors because they do real well. For the brethren around the world, pushing truth uncut, unfiltered, give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Breaking down the scriptures and declaring war on the planet, saying salutations. For the hopeful elect, I hope this is edifying. For the Akwaf, the few and the true, the listeners, the say the charity, keep doing so. And for the scorn of scoffing, reprobate 2/3 Israelites, and 17 other nations who are in the midst of Jacob's trouble, it is going to get a whole lot worse. Anyway, it's 5:26 in the morning here. You see, this is 8 views 2 minutes ago. This is Australian news. You're going to look at the comment board. See, it ain't even got no comments started yet. Okay, that's how new this is. But the most dangerous piece of legislation proposed, misinformation and bill. This is going to be one of the things that's going to contribute to, this is in Australia, but this is just the laying of the some of the foundation that's going to create the famine of the word and things of this nature. That's what this is. Okay, and a lot of times they start some things in other countries and whatnot and let it spread itself over to this way as they see how it's accepted or not accepted and things of this nature. And as they say, and let it get some traction overseas first before they bring it this way. So anyway, I'm going to let this play. I'm going to put some scriptures on this. But let's let this play because it's not that long.
Now, the Albanese government is attempting to push through a combating misinformation and disinformation bill that could be one of the most dangerous pieces of legislation to our free speech rights ever. Under the bill, any blog, podcast or post perceived to be spreading misinformation could see its platform fined up to 5% of its global turnover. So sure, it's not you personally facing fine or even jail time, but do you think Meta, who owns Facebook, Instagram and now Threads, would want to pay up to $8 billion in fines so you can question whether or not the Indigenous voice to Parliament is in the best interest of the country, or if you want to question the merits of mandates, lockdowns and school closures during a pandemic? Dr. Joanna Howe is a professor at Adelaide Law School and she joins me now. Dr. Howe, thank you so much for your time. In your expert opinion, is this bill necessary? And if it's passed, what impact will it have for Australians?
So the Albanese government, Rita, has said that this bill is about keeping Australians safe, but I just don't buy it. This bill is about giving the government more power, and essentially what this bill does is allows the government to decide what the truth is. So if you think about George Orwell's 1984 and that dystopia that he presented there was a Ministry of Truth. And essentially what the Albanese government is proposing is to create a Ministry of Truth, and the government will determine what is true. And if you don't comply with the dominant ideology of the establishment and their version of truth, then you will be shut down. So I am really concerned about this. This is the most dangerous law that I have seen in my time as a legal academic and as someone who's speaking out publicly on the issue of abortion. And I am going against the dominant ideology of the establishment. You know, the Albanese government, the mainstream media, the tech companies, they have a view that abortion is healthcare, and that's the dominant ideology. I'm speaking about the harm of abortion to women and the data that we know that tells us about the terrible effects effects of abortion on women, and the fact that it's the leading cause of death in Australia today, and the most dangerous place for a child, in fact, is in utero. All of this data and truth that I'm bringing out, I will be shut down. And, you might not agree with me on the issue of abortion, but take your pick, whatever you're passionate about. If you don't comply with the dominant ideology of the establishment, that's the government, the mainstream media, and the tech companies, then you will be shut down, you will be silenced. There will be no such thing as free speech on abortion or any other issue on social media if this bill passes.
Well, yeah, because misinformation, disinformation have become catch-all labels for anything that goes against the dominant media narrative. I know you're arguing about abortion, but we saw many untruths and hysteria pushed by governments and health bodies during the pandemic, and many of those who were accused of pushing misinformation, including medical experts, infectious disease experts, have now been vindicated because what they were saying actually turned out to be accurate. Now, we think of the US and Australia as free countries, but how much free speech is actually free in this country? I need a quick answer from you, Professor.
Okay, there's already a lot of censorship through the tech companies on social media and online. But the problem with this bill is it will give the imprimatur of the law. So the government will be giving the green light to social media companies to be doing more censorship. And so that is a real issue to our Australian democracy, and we have to fight back. So I've got a petition on my website, Dr. Joanna Howe, where people can go straight to, there's a QR code on the screen, and you can go to that website and you can make your voice heard to kill this bill, because I really believe that if this bill passes, that will be the end of free speech on social media. And social media is our public square. It's a place that we can speak out against those with power who try to shut us down. So, this is a really dangerous bill. And I'd like the Albanese government to think about the fact that when they were in opposition and the Howard government was pushing the work choices legislation through, they had a $55 million campaign talking about how work choices was fairer for working people in the country. And Labor was very much against that view. And yet that was the dominant view of the government at the time. And what this bill does, of the Albanese government, is says whoever is in power, whoever is in government, they get to determine what is true. And so this is very dangerous, because you might like who's in government now. You might even be in government now.
I'm going to pause it right there. Okay, so who's ever in power gets to determine what is true. So, let's go here. Okay, because we understand that go here, because since we understand that it's basically against who's in power, okay, let's see who's in power according to what the scripture says. It says, Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges there. If not, where and who is he? Okay. So the earth is given into the hands of the wicked right now. So those are the ones in power. So since they're the ones in power, they're going to be the ones that determine what the truth is too. Okay. Well, how is that going to work when the scripture says when the scripture says, John 8:44, that ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. Now this is Yahweh Shai speaking to Israelites, but he's saying that if you're following somebody and this, that, and the other, okay, if you're following somebody and whatnot, this is just who. If you're not following Yahweh Shai and the truth, then who are you following? Okay, yeah, of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Okay, so he's the father of it. So, a murderer. So who was the first murderer that was known on the planet? It was Cain. Okay, and Cain was cursed. He was cursed with the with the affliction of leprosy. Okay, and then Esau came out as the first clean leper. Okay, Isha. Why? Because it was wasted away as heat, which means he didn't have no pigmentation. Okay, so this man that calls himself the white man is actually basically a person that lacks pigmentation. So his skin comes off as reddish pinkish because of the fact that you can see the blood through it. Okay? Uh, so the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. Okay, so they put up the picture that goes absolutely against Cesare Borgia, that goes absolutely against what the scripture says. And uh, he's a father of lies. Okay? Uh, excuse me. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, Father, Job 9:24. This as well. Um, let me think. Um, I mean, I can make this long, but famine of the word. But what is this establishing? Like you said, it's a famine of the word, but we know that that's coming up. Okay. Why? Hold on. Let me type in a little bit more. Okay. No. Sure. Okay. Let's let it go back. Okay. Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that I will send a famine of the land. Not a famine of bread, not a thirst of water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. Okay? And they shall wander from sea to sea and from north to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh and shall not find it. Okay? So they're going to be looking for this word and not be able to find it. They're going to be looking for who has the understanding of the word, who can open the book and break it down, and these types of things. But it's not going to be out there, okay? Because the Lord is going to pull us away from it, as they say, while his hand is stretched out. Seek ye the Lord while he's in the green tree, okay? Because, excuse me. That being the case, this is what you go have, okay? So you got a famine of the word. They're not going to be able to find it. The people going to want to know who's who and what's what and what's going on and this, that, and the other. Nobody's going to be able to talk about this at all. Let me see. Nobody's going to be able to talk about this at all. Revelation 13-16, he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their hand on their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Okay? And that's pretty much any place that they can put this in your body. Okay? They're not going to be talking about it. But they ain't going to be out there. Okay, like I said, because of the famine of the word, the man that's going to understand it and be able to really break it down correctly are not going to be breaking it down. You're going to have all these false prophets and things of this nature. And you see there's a combination of things that's going to have to be in place. Okay? The correct breakdown, the understanding of what it actually means, the names that you have to pray to, okay, and the faith to be able to go through whatever you have to go through, even if it leads you into death, to stand on it. So this is what we got coming. This is what is coming, okay, in the process of, okay, and so I'm going to have to go through it. It says some going to be martyred, so some going to. Somebody like this is going to have to go through that and deal with that as well, okay? So that's just the bottom line on that. So, like I said, I'm not going to go and drag it out because I can run scripture on scripture on scripture because that's a real heavy subject, the famine of the word. Okay, we know that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay, that the people that's in charge of it right now is who the planet was given to, and that's the wicked. So why would we want to trust anything that the wicked is going to be in control of in the last days? You shouldn't be trying to trust that. If you do, then you're going down to Egypt. One to them that goes down to Egypt, and this, that, and the other. Okay, that's let me see. I'm probably gonna end it on that one. Woe to the rebellious children, says Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the cover, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down to Egypt and have not asked at my mouth. So you're not coming to the prophets and asking what you should be doing and preparing yourself to do. So guess what? You trusting in what the people are going to be saying, but the people that's in charge are the people that the earth is given into the hands of, and that's the wicked, that walk to go down to Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. So you're going to be confused because you're not going to have the truth. And this is what this is all about. So with that having been said, like I said, so we see what's coming down the pipe. You saw how new that was. But like I said, what she said, the U.S. and Australia, supposed to be free countries, okay? But they getting ready to impede on your ability to speak out. So when they shut it all down, when the government decides that they don't like what you're saying and shut down the social medias, like I said, we say this all the time, that the internet, especially these YouTube pages and whatnot, start with Daily Motion and all these other kinds of things, to be able to spread information to the four corners of the earth, was the downfall of this Edomite, because the truth as it was known had to be that. It had to be spread to the four corners of the earth. Let me see if I can get that. Nah, I'm not gonna worry about it. We know what that is. So, let me see. I didn't come up that way. Yeah, so you know what? Like I said, we know what, like I said, so that's going to be what it needs to be. As far as this word had to get spread to the four corners of the earth, and then the end would come. Okay? And that's what has happened now. Okay, so the most dangerous piece of legislation, proposed misinformation and bill that's going to be controlled by the government, is going to be shutting down your ability to communicate to the four corners of the earth, which is where our strongest platform was set up, but it then went to the four corners of the earth. So I don't watch the earth be spinning precariously out of control since I've been in this truth for 12 years with this. Like I said, so I hope that's edifying to the body to understand it. Like I said, this was actually breaking news over in Australia, when I went to do it. So I want, like I said, but that's what we do. Prophets retell something that's happening from the scriptures that was written before time, and show you how that scripture that was written before time is being fulfilled in our time. Okay, so with that, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash, to the apostles and the elders of GMS out of New York, elder bishops, the elders out of Connecticut, the apostles down in Texas, send double honors because they do rule well. For the brethren around the world, pushing truth uncut, unfiltered, declaring war on the planet, I send salutations. Hopefully, I hope that's edifying. Aqua, fear and truth, that's listening, sincerity, charity. Keep doing so. But for the scorn and scoff of reprobate 2/3 Israelites and 17 other nations, who's going to go down into Egypt, trusting in that, and you 17 other nations, to you all, a Baba Ball, and to the first group, a hearty shalom.